All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Fishing Planet Friday once again. So, a couple of small things I've done. We are going to just try some different money farms. So, right now, after sort of doing a little bit of research and looking around, I think I do want to. The decisions we've made so far, I think, have actually been pretty good. Not that we've been like the most efficient to Emerald Lake, but we also have done pretty well. And I do want to move towards this. I don't think we'll get there today because of how much farming we'll need to do, but I do want to move towards this. And try the walleye farm just to kind of see how that goes while we're still at like appropriate level. So to do that, I think we're going to start off by going back to the Lone Star Lake and seeing if, now that we have a little bit better gear, if we can do pretty well on the spotted bass. So actually, one thing I'm going to do with the Lone Star Lake, and I saw someone talking about this, and I think it's an interesting idea because we will likely use this as a farming spot. Well, I'll just tell you what their theory was, that it's worth paying the 7 bait coins since it's so cheap comparatively in the big scheme of things, so that you're not even getting charged the daily amount and just maximizing your profit. Part of me wants to see, do we have an active license right now? I think we do. No, basic. We don't have advanced. Kind of wanted to see what it would, how much like we're gonna make here on farming, but let's just try it. Let's just try it. Okay, so now we don't have to. So now, anytime we need to farm, 1,000 money or whatever, $1,000, we can just come here. We don't have to pay anything. Travel's free, license is free, pushing time forward is free. All the things are free. The other thing that I did upgrade since our last episode is I went to this. If I go to landing, keep net. So I went to the Fish Jail Extra Small. It's expensive in some ways, but we still had a very small fish hut. I think we actually had the small. No, we had the medium. This just extends what we can do by a lot. The downside of the fish jails is you can't remove fish, so you've got like less flexibility. But I still think it's worth it. So we did that. The other thing I think I'm about to do is actually purchase the Featherlight 200. It allows us to have a little stronger line as we get stronger line, and yet it can still cast a really small lure. So the lure that we're going to use once we get to Emerald, in fact, we can go ahead and, I think we're going to spend bait coins. I think I told you this maybe last episode. This is something I remembered from the last time I played. You get extra XP if you're using barbless. So I think we're going to spend 3 bait coins and get these purple barbless spoons. So that's actually what we'll use for the walleye. So if we go back to this rod, that one's 7 gram. Let's go to spinning rods. The Featherlight does up to 9 grams. So we're still safe with that size lure, I guess is what I'm saying. Plus, it just gives us more flexibility. I think what I'm wanting to start aiming towards is trying to get everything to a point where we're ready to transition. So I don't know for sure, but like I kind of get the sense, and I don't know what hook you use for walleye. It might be large 1 hooks. I know it's small minnows, but my feeling is Now this might still be a little small, but I bet 3.15 we might be able to make it work. So what that means is we really just need a spinning setup that we can make it work, and then we're good to go try it. But you don't want to go till you feel pretty good about your ability, because it really can set you back. 3,000 in-game dollars just to travel there, and then plus an extra basically 1,900. So like right now we couldn't even afford it, and we're definitely about to not be able to afford it once we get this Featherlight. Now there is an argument for not getting the Featherlight, but I don't like that argument. I think I'm going to do it. All right, and the game can tell we're getting very low on money, so it's like, do you want some money? All right, Featherlight. So okay, now we've got Featherlight, goes up to 4 kilo. We're still using an old reel on this one. Let's see, this goes up to 3. So we really want, what's the line? 1.8, but we have something much better, right? Yeah, 3.6. So we could put 3.6 on there, but there's no point until we get a better spinning reel. So the question is, what are we saving for? 2.9. It might even be like a level 11 one, I'm not sure. But anyway, all right, so let's just go see how this farm goes. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, what do we want to fish for on our secondary rod while we're there? What is the best? Like, we could just put small minnows in the water and catch more bass, as long as, this is what we have to be careful of, as long as they are per fish getting more than, what is this, $30 per small minnow? Because you get 10 small minnows and it costs you 300. So we could try that farm, or we could try like white crappie on the bottom rod, put crickets on there with a decent size hook. This says large 1 hook and crickets. All right, let me see if this, the question though is, where are the white crappie? 747. Is that near a spotted bass? Where was that? Let me just find that thing we had. That had the pictures. Yeah, the Lone Star Lake guide. So fish map, white crappie is yellow. Yeah, so it should be right there. So we might be able to do this. All right, let's see if we can make this work. So we actually do want large 1 hooks. The bell can go out. We're going to be using, probably not. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. We're going to be using crickets, right? We still got plenty of crickets. Never hurts to have red worms. So we do want on hooks. For some reason we never got size 1 hooks. So we want size 1 hooks. And then we want crickets. Part of me wants to use our other feeder rod because, yeah, it's fine. Let's just do it. Okay. So are we set up? I mean, it doesn't matter because it's like free travel. We really don't have to worry about it. So let's see what farming Texas is like. Hopefully it is good because we spent some bait coins on it. Okay, so we want to go right here. Oh, shoot. That is a bummer. So some wood in the game you can do it. Apparently not this wood, though. It's okay. We still know kind of where we're casting. It's like right out here. And we'll see. All right, so we're using the bass jig, by the way. That's the other thing we're trying. So instead of the casting spoon, we're going to see how well the bass jig does. And yeah, we're really hoping we can make a farm out of this. All right, I'm going to start off on 2 retrieval, I think. Let's let it go to the bottom. And then we'll try 1 retrieval. I remember with the casting spoons, we ended up finding that it seemed like slower speed was actually doing better. All right, you like to hear that. All right, there we go. Let's see. So we can get a little more power out of this. Oh yeah. Something got snagged. You hate to see that. All right, 92 per spotted bass. That seems like a good thing. So the fish ran it into the snag, huh? Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So we know where we want to fish with this, but how do we do it and not get it snagged all the time? The other question is, maybe we can actually fish for bass over here? Let's see. Because then we could just switch them out. Not have to like wait till it gets snagged. So the reason why I'm using this bass jig is my understanding is it works just as well as the casting spoon. And unlike the casting spoon, you're not going to get like the random pickerel or whatever, which for like trying to really farm the spot, I guess you want to really try to stay on the bass. Maybe we can just be closer. Does straight slow work as well on a bass jig as it does like a casting spoon? Not sure. Much smaller one, right? It is a much smaller one, but it's still worth a lot of money, which we like. That's ridiculous, by the way. What is this, a world record Texas bass? This thing is strong. Well, this should be 100 silver, right? Or $100. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't even a personal best. So that was on twitching, right? But still at 2 speed. Oh, man. Come on. I guess you just let it go for that initial ride and then you're good. Feeder rod just not doing anything, which technically is okay. Man, I don't know. I feel like I almost snapped it there. We've got to be a little bit careful. 126. That is a nice one. So in a very short amount of time, we're up to 278. Let's try to wait. Let's try to wait for the first catch. The other thing we could try doing is either putting red worms on there. We just, if we're not catching really nice size white crappie, it's probably not worth the time it takes to distract us from bass fishing. That was the idea with the crickets. I don't know why we're not twitching this time. There we go. I must not be twitching often enough. Yeah, I think I was just like not quite doing it often enough. But the other thing we can try, we have the small minnows with us. So, I mean, these bass are worth enough that if we occasionally caught one on small minnow, yeah, I mean, it cuts into the profit, but if it increases the frequency of catching the bass, then overall it's probably worthwhile. Once again, we're not twitching. Okay, now we are. I felt like the key to those two fish we caught right in a row was that we started twitching immediately. See if we can do this one more time. Have I been letting it sink? I think I have. Okay, twitching right out of the gate. A little violently, a little too frequent. Oh, there it goes. All right, this is where I think instead of waiting, let's go ahead and get to it just so we can see what it is before it gets snagged. Okay, so we caught something on crickets. Let's see what it is and see how much it's worth. Should be a white crappie, but it could be something else. I don't know. There we go. All right, so that's worth 28. And the hope here is with this setup in this spot, we at least have a chance of trophies, which would be good, obviously. Okay, we're still in a good time of fishing. We need to watch that, though. We don't want to waste time in down times, because, again, there's no penalty here for moving forward in time. That should pick up the bite rate if the bite rate ever slows down. All right, I'm going to try stop and go this time. We're having some difficulties with twitching for some reason. I don't know what my mental block was with stop and go, like that first or second episode. What I was doing was I was starting and stopping it really quick and choppy, where if you just really like let that pause hit in between, you can keep a much more consistent stop and go, it seems like. So even on the 2-speed, we're good. Man, that's nice. Right there at the end, hit one. 114. That is awesome. All right, let's try a different spot here. Let it sink. Yeah, it must have been the angle, either the angle of the ride or angle of the ride in comparison to where the lure was, because we're back to pretty easily twitching now. Love to see it. Love to see it. We're at 546 already. We're gonna have 1,000 before we know it. Mission wise, let's untrack this one. We're not working on that one right now. Jighead 1. Huh, that's kind of cool. I like those mastering ones. Oh, we just need an Oscar. I don't know where the Oscar is, but we're close to that one. Let's see, I was going to go over here again. Well, after a couple of really nice twitching experiences there, it's now seems like we're having better success with stop and go. All right, let's just try something else before we do small minnows. Let's see about, oh, it still just bums me out that we haven't gotten 6 hooks. Oh, I think I can get them. Yeah. We have no money. We also have almost no red worms. So we're going to 6 and red worms. It's probably going to be a little better bite rate. Hopefully we can still see some white crappie and not like get bogged down with other stuff that's just not as good of money. And then next, maybe we try small minnows. See kind of what we're averaging on income with a little more expensive bait. Okay, 22, quick white crappie. I mean, that's pretty good. All right. Well, we've talked about it. Let's actually try it. So, I don't know. The size of these, I'm just not sure. But we're gonna try this. Small minnows. Right over there where we see the bass jumping over and over. Come on. Yes. So it looks like maybe once every day, 24 hours, or I don't know. Eventually enough time goes by where you can claim them again. All right, let's try to catch one more fish, and then I think we move time forward. I'm gonna actually go real slow, stop and go, but real slow this time. Oh, that looks weird, doesn't it? It's so slow. Okay, let's try twitching, but real slow. Might just be too slow. It's funny how slow you move. I guess when you're holding. Nope. Now, the thing will be if we ever catch the, what is it, pickerel or whatever the other fish is that's here, that might also like cut into the profit. But I think, what do we say, they're 30 a piece. As long as whatever we catch is worth more than 30, it's not like we're losing any. So that's a, you know, $45 gain there. Actually, let's go to right here. Forward time. I bet if we did the, actually like mathed it out, we just make more per hour if we just focus on spin fishing, I bet, instead of fooling with the bottom fishing. It would be different if we could like put our rod stand out here where we could literally just switch them back and forth, but we move so slow to go pick it up. I don't know. That whole process takes way too long. Oh, this is great. This is what we want. All right. Another one over $100. $100. 0.74 kilo. That was stop and go. I think I'm feeling the most comfortable with stop and go at 2 speed right now. $107. That's $868. 82. I like it. All right, since we just have one small minnow left, let's try the really big hook. Or at least big for us. This is about as big a hook as we have. And see if it still catches one, and see if we can get one over $100. Because even if it takes a little longer to catch it, like, we're okay with that. Smaller one. Still 94 though. Okay. What is this one, by the way? I don't remember what we had there, but we can remove that marker, get that marker back. Let's try another spot here. I forgot that we can catch these on the other side pretty well. Oh, it takes your bait. Oh, man. That stinks because I was hoping to try it with the fish. That's okay though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna fish for. Let's see. All right. Let's go. Let's go to that. That is a long way, by the way. We'll see if this spot still works. Wait. Is this snagged? Wonder what it's snagging on down there. All right. Let's see if this works at all. Okay, this is interesting. This could be a bass, right? Redworms will catch the bass occasionally. Yeah, that's a nice profit. Love it. Hopefully it did not. Get snagged. I think it would tell us a notification if it did. All right, let's try a different technique here. Okay, so if you hold down the right mouse button, I did not remember how this worked, but if you hold down the right mouse button and then, you know, reel in, you do get lift and drop. Now we're only getting one indication. Okay, so what if I go, sorry, I'm just remembering that there's like all these different ways of doing this. What if I, We're still in good time here, but I'm just not catching them out here. They do seem to be out here. We caught them on the redworms. At least we can stand next to the feeder rod, which is nice. Like, that's part of what I was wanting to see if I could, you know, figure out, but there we go. Maybe we just needed a little twitching in our life. All right, let's see what we've got here. It's another nice one. There's just no good way to scroll in. It's, oh, so frustrating. Okay. I'm sorry. I just think there should be a way to recall your markers without having to go to the map. And if there is, I just don't know about it. But if there's not, there should be. Charge for it. $100 for every marker. It still saves you from paying the travel cost and just the time. I mean, it's just, that's a real inconvenience, real annoyance. Oh man, this is great. So again, we could have small minnows out, standing right here next to our bottom rod, and juggle them back and forth if we had two on at the same time. Nice one. 140. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, I'm kind of liking this twitching straight up at 2 speed from this location. This might be my new favorite. We'll see. Maybe it's just nice to switch it up. This is good practice for the walleye. Nice long straight cast. Basically what we're doing right now is poor man's walleye. And that's okay. Gotta earn those dollars. let's just go one more cast, see what we get. Oh, I tell you what, let's do one more cast, but let's use the casting spoon. And I'll probably try the same technique. Let's try to twitch it. I don't know why, but maybe it's a little heavier. It came up to the top much quicker than the bass jig. I'm going to do stop and go this time. Remember with the casting spoon, we ended up doing a little better when we slowed the speed down too, but I'm not sure that I was as comfortable with stop and go when we did that. Because at one speed, you really don't hardly move it at all. There we go. It's a nice one. Number of fish per calendar day. Wow, that's cool. All right, let's see. Let's see what this is. All right, it's going to be some sort of panfish, right? Green sunfish. Which we could embrace that for a minute. Size 6 with red worms. Just kind of right down there. Oh, I love it. So it's, you know, it is a little bit of a visceral experience when you get that hit. I think it's because you see the red colors, you feel it in a sense. You see those red colors when the fish hits it pretty hard. It's kind of nice. Uh-oh. Just don't let it start pulling. Nice one. Yeah, with the casting spoon, seems like stop and go is working really well. And I don't know that this is a spot that we're in danger of catching pickerel really, so. All right, what little panfish did we catch here? A little shiner? All right, we're going to leave that marker there because I suspect this will not be the last time we're doing this. $1,700. That was awesome. So if we do that a couple times, we are getting close to being able to transition easily, fairly easily, to the walleye in New York. I kind of like the way we're going about this. So yeah, that was good. All right, let's go ahead and leave so we can confirm that amount. You see how much more you get with premium. Not just the XP, but just like the money, it adds up quick. Worth having premium if you're, you know, if like this is your main thing, you're spending a lot of time, like it does help with the grindiness of the game, even at this level, I think. Okay. So very, very cool. So we're up to 1937. Again, the main thing we're saving for is the travel cost and the license, first day of license. In terms of our setup, we do want to put the larger line on this. Oh, that's the other thing, is we probably want to get a better spinning reel, which by then I think we'll hit level 11, which potentially opens up 3.5. Yeah, it opens up some options that might be worth considering. How expensive are those though? That's a lot of, that really sets us back on the money grind. You almost want to earn those by fishing for the walleye. We do have one of these, right? Didn't I get one of those? Is that on our feeder setup? Yeah, so we could technically move that over to here. It's just we don't have a second reel that's I think using this reel 2.25, I don't know, maybe it is possible with walleye. I might be not remembering. I mean, they're not that big, so maybe we could try that on the bottom rod. It's just going to be a little more painful getting them in. When you can get to a point where you're efficiently getting them in pretty quickly, that is a nice place to be. But you got to remember, I've got to remember that people are used to going to New York at level 8, or sometimes they do if they're trying to do a really efficient run. And so what's available at level 8 is, you know, a little different. So I don't know. We'll see. We're getting there though. This was a good session. I'm glad we did some experimentation with this on trying to farm Lone Star. I don't know that I've ever really done that quite so intentionally. And we figured out some good stuff. I think it might be worth investing in a little bit of the minnows. Just try to increase the frequency of, because we're getting a decent profit per minnow. It's not like we're catching a bunch of bycatch that's like not worth anything. So I think in that sense, it's fine. Okay. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Tight lines, everybody.